people. This is honeymaysims and welcome back to my channel and another speed build. So real quick, I just want to say Happy New Year everyone. I hope you've all had a good start to 2022 and yeah, thank you all so much for being here. So today I'm building a family farmhouse in Brindleton Bay, which is the world of cats and dogs, and this is Hound's Creek lot, which is a 40 by 40 lot. And this build is going to include a barn, some land to plant crops, a chicken coop, and some functional animal sheds inside the barn. And I also tried to include lots of activities such as the fishing machine, flower arrangement table, candle making station, bee houses, and there's even a tree house for the kids in the backyard. And I also added a sales table on the lot so your Sims can sell off the products they've made. So yeah, I think this is definitely a house I would love to play in for my gameplay save too. So I'm excited to move my Sims in here and live that country life. So I found the shape of the house to come together pretty fast, as you are probably seeing. The house of the main house is inspired by a very common house style found in Norway, where I'm from. We call it a Swiss style, I believe, where the shape is a box and at the front there's another like box shape and with an entrance below and a balcony on top. So it is a very simple style, but I added some more details to make it look more interesting, I think, like the trims, the columns, and these beautiful windows from Seasons. Some of the second floor is going to go through the roofing, so I added some windows on those sections as well, and also roofing. But what didn't come together as fast are the colors of the house and the barn, which I'm making eventually. So where I'm from, and probably many other places as well, it's very common on a farm that the barn is red and the main house is white. However, I started out with the main house being red, and eventually the barn is going to change from a red to a brown and a white before it ends up as red again, which I think looks the best with the white the main house is going to end up with. And I also believe the white wallpaper from Cats and Dogs is one of the prettiest wood panels in the game, and I think I used it pretty much all over the main house on the inside as well, because it really does give off that clean farmhouse vibe. And I also started out with a sort of reddish flooring. However, when I started off with the interior, I just felt like a lighter wood would fit more nicely. So that's what I'm going to do eventually. But on the barn, I used the Snowy Escape double sliding door, which you'd need a medium wall height for. I love using these for either barns or garage doors, and you could possibly use the big sliding door from the industrial loft kit too, but for this one I wanted a more clean and simple look, so I went for the Snowy Escape one. And on the barn I also used some roofing to create a bridge, which I think is pretty common on barns here. And yeah, the Sims aren't able to access the barn from this side, however I put an entrance to the other side as well. And yeah, on the inside I did try out having 4 animal sheds, but when I play tested it, there just wasn't enough space for all of them, and it was kind of hard for a Sim to navigate, so I did cut it down to 2 animal sheds. And I also added the vet station from Cats and Dogs too, because I did imagine this animal loving family to have both barn animals and pets, such as a cat or dog or both. So maybe one of the parents is a veterinarian as well, and I think it would actually be really cool to make a vet lot for this family as well, maybe just down the neighborhood where the default one is in Brindleton Bay. So yeah, I also added a ladder in the barn to get up to the second floors because I wanted it to be functional with some activities, and also the ping pong table from Discover University. And since this was a pretty big lot, I wanted to have something else than just the crops at the front. And I suddenly had this idea of making a pond with a bridge over it in the middle. So I think it ended up balancing out the lot well. And I also put in lots of those objects, which makes fireflies, fishes, and ducks appear. And yeah, I think it ended up looking pretty nice. I also added some paths here to make it look more pretty. Both going up to the barn and the main house, and between those two and the bridge. And some of my favorite trees come with cats and dogs, like the tree here you can see with the white petals, but also the birch tree. So I added a white tree like on the left side of the house here and just in front of the pond. And the kitchen is going to be just behind that tree, and I think the view out the window where the sink is going to be is looking very pretty like this. I feel like farms are some of the most fun things to build. I'm not sure exactly why, but it might be because I'm surrounded by farms where I live, since I live a bit on the countryside outside the city, and there's especially lots of horse farms and lots of fields to grow crops, especially grains like wheat, oats, and I think I remember they've grown canola too, which makes the fields bright yellow. And not far from here, they also grow strawberries. So yeah, there are some farmers in my family tree, like my great-grandparents used to live in the house next to mine. So I actually live right next to my grandparents, but also my aunt who now lives in my great-grandparents' house. So yeah, I feel really connected to the area where I'm from and where I live now, because many generations of my family are living here and have lived here previously. So I think that might be a reason why I find farmhouses so fun to build. But what about you? What do you enjoy the most to build? Let me know in the comments, I'd love to hear. And for this house, I also used the big laundry day windows because I think they go really well with the farmhouse vibe as well. And yeah, as I said earlier, the seasons windows too. And yeah, in the back with an exit to the backyard, I added a sunroom. I originally wanted it to have enough space for a dining table, but in the end I decided to just turn it into a sunroom with some flowers and the base game planter pot and the wicker chair from Island Living. And as you can see now, I've started to build the tree house for the kids. So what I did, I just added a tree, a big tree basically, and I made a room on the first floor, and then I added one on top of it, just deleted the first floor walls, but I thought the height was a bit too tall, so I used the arrow in the UI to just lower the flooring and the height so it fit more nicely. I just put it down to the height which the game allowed me to with the columns. So yeah, I think it ended up pretty nicely, and eventually you're going to see me decorate it as well. So basically now I'm just adding some touches to the outside, like I added these very short fences all around the path, and I always love including these little flower beds along the windows, so I just couldn't resist not putting them. And yeah, of course I need a little mailbox, so I just went for the regular base game one. I wanted to have this clothing. What is it called again? Just, yeah, clothing line to dry off the clothing. And I spent some time putting lots of flowers all around. I cut out a big part of me just doing that because it gets kind of tedious, I think, just watching me put it all down. But yeah, eventually you'll be able to see how it all turned out. And I'm going on to the, no, not the inside quite yet, but I found that sales table that I was talking about earlier, and I added some of those eco lifestyle bikes as well. I found some really nice swatches of that one, like some colorful ones with flowers, I think, and another pattern that I don't quite remember, but I think it was pink and blue, and just a regular white one. So yeah, now you're going to see that I'm finally figuring out the colors I wanted for my farm. So the main house is now white and the barn is red, as I said earlier in the video. I also added some of those space game like short windows on top of the barn door just to add that little extra detail. And I also added that eco lifestyle decorations above it. Yeah, I think it's turning out really nicely now, as you can see with all the little details. And yeah, I'm now onto the floor plan, and the floor plan took me a little while to do, and especially the second floor. I think the most difficult thing about floor plans is to place the staircase. So I struggled a little bit to have like enough space for all the rooms I wanted, but yeah. And there was also a balcony on each side of the build, so I didn't want the stairs to get in the way. But eventually I just changed out the door in the back with some windows, because that's the room where the master bedroom is going to be. And so there's going to be a kid's bedroom with a bunk bed on the left side, and on the opposite side there's going to be a bigger bathroom with a bathtub, shower, and a double vanity. So my favorite room in this build is the kitchen, which is almost always the case because I just love making kitchens. And I think especially like either modern kitchens or yeah, kitchens like this one, like farmhouse vibe. And I almost always start out making the kitchen as well. And I loved using the Parenthood kitchen in the white swatch with the black countertop because it just fit really perfectly here. And I also used the Parenthood cabinets a lot in the rest of the house as well, combined with the Dream Home Decorator shelves, like the small cube ones, like in the living room, laundry room, and the bathroom on the second floor. And yeah, as you just saw, I switched out the reddish flooring and woods with more lighter ones, because now I think it looks really pretty with the white kitchen, and it fits more nicely, I think. So I'm just finishing up some of the layout of the kitchen, and I'm starting out with the living room. So yeah, here I used that idea that I just said with the Parenthood cabinets and the Dream Home Decorator shelving to make this custom TV console. And after the base game update, I've loved using these curtains in this especially in this white swatch, so I used that a lot in this build as well. And yeah, I'm now on onto the entrance, or like going back and forth as usual. So I used all the shelving and cabinets here as well, and I've started doing this a lot, but I used the Dream Home Decorator, like the couches to make these custom sitting benches. So I loved using those in either my entrance areas or in the kitchen. So yeah, I'm also using the cats and dogs shelving here. I think I'm going to switch this out eventually to further down the entrance area, but I also use these in the kitchen. And I also use that new base game item as well, like the aprons. Eventually going to change the position of that one as well. So it's going to be switched out with one of the holiday celebration artworks, like that blackboard with some writing on it. But yeah, I'm going on to the second floor bathroom, and I'm putting in the bathtub that I mentioned earlier and the shower from Discover University. And I also wanted to have like a divider here, so I used this Jungle Adventure window, and I just used tool mod to kind of get it further away from the wall. But yeah, I'm also using the cats and dogs toilet because yeah, it's a nice one and just the base game sinks. And for the mirrors, I'm going to be using this one from, I believe it's Get Together, with this very soft gold or yeah, beige color. And yeah, and then I'm going on to the laundry room. I'm using some of the same objects and also the ID with the shelving. So I'm going to put in lots of little decorations in all of these little cube shelving. And I also love using these decorations from Dream Home Decorator, like the little basket with the towels, but also that basket case from Eco Lifestyle. And yeah, right now I think I'm going to just put out a lot of stuff, and then eventually I'm going to put it all in place, or maybe that's a little later. But just finding all of these little decorations that you need, like the toilet paper roll and the towels. And I also use that Seasons shelving unit on the second floor bathroom, but also that Parenthood like cabinet above the toilet. So as you can see now, I have put out lots of decorations, and I'm just going to place it all out basically. But I'm using the Dream Home Decorator couch, the customizable one, and I think this coffee table is from Cats and Dogs as well. I really love this swatch because it fit really perfectly with the rest of everything here. And yeah, just putting out a little jar of cookies on top of the refrigerator. I use these little jars with pet treats from Cats and Dogs as well, and that big pot from Cottage Living. I love using the little plates from Snowy Escape, and yeah, also that Parenthood like bread box is perfect. And I also found these little salt and pepper shakers from the newest base game update as well. And yeah, also that little like glass holder with the bread, like the fruit cake. I'm like totally blanking out on so many words right now. But yeah, I also recently got both Journey to Batuu and Paranormal, so you're going to see me use some of those items. And I find this little glass holder with the cow plant really adorable. I think I ended up using it here. Yeah, and I also starting to get everything in order, I think. After like that whole mess that I put out on the floor. But finally everything is in place, and I used these, I think these are from Parenthood as well, like these lights with the glass jars. So I put one over the kitchen island, but also the dining table. So for this build, I think I used Seasons, Cottage Living, Parenthood, and Laundry Day the most, if I'm not entirely wrong. But you'll be able to see which packs I use when I upload this to the gallery. My ID is of course Owlrick. Yeah, I'm just going back and forth between all the rooms again, and I'm also doing this ID in the second floor bathroom. So I'm putting out all of these little decorations, towels of course, and on each side of these mirrors I'm going to put some lights, like wall lights, which I think really makes this area look complete. I think this space is probably one of my favorites in this house as well. So I'm really satisfied with how this bathroom turned out, and yeah, I'm on to the master bedroom. And of course, I feel like I always use this Seasons bed, and yeah, it has so many great swatches, but I went with the blue one here. So again, I used those cats and dogs shelving to put on each side, so I put little books and flowers on it because I didn't have enough space for like the actual night tables. So I think that was the best idea for this one. And I also used those cats and dogs paintings, both in this master bedroom, but on the second floor, like in that kind of lounge area as well. And yeah, it's such a must in the entrance area for me to put these clothes hangers. And yeah, I also used those Dream Home Decorator cubes to make like a custom shelving unit beside the entrance door as well. So I put like all of these shoes, I think a little football, and yeah, it's turning out nicely as well. And as I said earlier, in the second floor on the barn, I wanted this ping pong table from Discovery University. So maybe like the parents have some friends coming over once in a while, so they can just lounge in that second floor. But also I think when the kids turn older, that would be like a nice hangout spot. So I imagine the Sims would spend a lot of time in that second floor with all the activities, like the flower arrangement one, and I think also the candle station is on the second floor. But yeah, and the sunroom, very like slowly starting to decorate as well. So I put those base game planter pots, but also lots of flowers, and also that wicker chair from Island Living. And yeah, I'm also just putting out, or putting in, I would say, all of those decorations in the laundry room. And finally, I have my hands on this paranormal like ceiling plant, or the hanging plant. I really love how that one looks. So I think I used it in the sunroom, but also in the master bedroom, and on the wall I used that season's decoration or flower as well. And when I found this cottage living plant, it was so perfect for this house. So I switched out some flowers that I had, and once again I'm on to the entrance area, and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to put beneath the staircase. So I put in some extra shelving. I think this family would have like lots of stuff based on how much like storage space they have. But I tried to make the best out of it, and the staircase is functional from what I playtested, so it's completely fine with all of the things beneath it. And I'm onto like this lounge or play area on the second floor. So I actually put this couch in front of the sliding door when I said I wasn't going to do that earlier, but I wasn't really sure what to put in this space, so I think it was okay because I wasn't going to put anything on the balcony after all. So I just put some couch and a lounge chair, and I forgot to put a fireplace on the first floor, so I felt like I had to include that one because I did add, I think, 2 chimneys, so it would make sense. Yeah, I just put that Parenthood, like a blackboard, so you can put like little drawings on it, and you can also make time for when the kids have to be inside, and also that box with all little toys and stuff. So now I'm on to the master bedroom again to make the this little corner of it or like, yeah, this space. So I wanted to have this really nice desk from Seasons as well, with a little computer and that little pin board, or what is it called again? Cork board, with these little calendar and posters, because I think the parents would love to like pin stuff that their children have made or bought for them, or like got for them or made. I don't know. So I just used Toolmod to kind of make that these posters kind of come out from the wall and make it look like they're actually pinned to that corkboard. And onto the children's bedroom. I also wanted to have a desk here so the children could either do their homework or be on their little laptop. So I added some books and stationery, and also that little crafts box from Parenthood as well. And yeah, so as I'm doing the children's room, I'm going back and forth between like the tree house with some little toys and that arts table as well. And I also included that cute playhouse from Eco Lifestyle, made out of paper, I think. Like board, if that's what it's called in English. I'm not entirely sure. And I also love using this nightlight from Parenthood as well, because then the hopefully the like monsters under the bed aren't going to come out, and the children are going to sleep sound and safely. So the parents aren't going to be waking up and having really bad sleeping schedules, or yeah, not getting enough sleep. So we're coming up to the end of this speed build and for the screenshots. So as always, you can find this build on the gallery. My ID is Owlrick, but you can also find it under the hashtag honeymaysims. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything in the future. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye!